remember years ago, people talking about all the dark dystopian things that would happen in the future and creating some pretty silly scenarios about it. Like for instance, before we all got used to our fingerprints unlocking cell phones, people used to warn that if fingerprints were used as keys, then we'd have this horrible scenario where robbers would be cutting people's fingers off and using them to unlock things. That's what a recent experiment conducted by a Forbes staffer reminded me of. Only the experiment didn't deal with fingerprint recognition, it dealt with facial recognition. And it wasn't a disembodied finger being used as the key, it was a disembodied head. Thomas Brewster actually had a 3D head printed up in his own likeness. It was no small feat. He went to a place called Backface, where they used a 50-camera studio to create the image that was then refined and edited. Then they used a 3D printer that made the head with gypsum powder, layer by layer, which was then hand-painted. The entire process took a few days and cost over 300 pounds. So it's not like he just made the head with any old 3D printer. The process was more involved to create a more realistic head. Then Brewster used his own real head to register for facial recognition across 5 cell phones, an iPhone X and 4 Android devices. He also set up Microsoft's Windows Hello with his own face too. Once they were all set up to recognize his face, it was time to test them with the fake disembodied head. And while both the iPhone and Windows Hello were not to be fooled, the fake head was able to unlock all 4 Android phones. That's right! Someone can make a 3D printed version of your head and use it to unlock your phone. Or worse, they can cut off your head and use it to fool facial recognition software, just like they can cut off your finger to use it to unlock things too. That's right! The future is so scary and so dark that all of our heads and fingers are bound to be cut off. Of course, that's ridiculous. The cutting off of a finger or a head to unlock something, or the 3D printing scenario. All of it's ridiculous, scaremongering stuff. As Brewster himself points out, if you're really worried about someone bothering to make a 3D printed version of your head just to get into your devices, then just stick to a passcode, which still works just fine and will continue to work in our dark, dystopian future.